Yeah, hey everyone, this is Dwayne, and I'm back on the Impala, scoping that AC door actuator, like I said I would do in my earlier videos. And this is some pretty cool stuff to me. Um, I don't use a scope much. I'm not a scope guru, so I can't really explain all this stuff that is in the waveform. I can't really analyze the waveform like like an expert or anything, but it's pretty cool stuff to me, just to see it, and hopefully I can show it to you here on this video. But I got uh, the scope leads hooked up to that AC connector up in there, just back probing each wire, and then I got them hooked up right here with my jumper leads going to my scope, which is right here, just my little 2-channel Pico. There's the red and the blue lead hooked up, and it's hooked up to my laptop here through this USB cable. And then I got it plugged in. I got my laptop plugged in here with the extension cord running all the way to my house. But yeah, one of my leads here came disconnected, but I got the grounds for both of the scope leads hooked up right here to this striker plate or whatever you call it. And I just caught some waveforms of the door in action, and this is them here on the scope right now. And it's kind of cool for me to see it, because I don't scope stuff very often. But it's like I was telling you about those two wires, how they switch polarity, and like one starts out as the power wire, which I believe is this blue one here, and then the red is starting out as the ground to make the door go into the recirculation position. And then that right here is where the door starts moving, and then it's closed. That's where it stops, right there. And then right here, the HVAC module is doing something. I'm not sure. That's some kind of little test or something it's doing right there. It's pulsing. It looks like it's pulsing this red trace to ground. And then right here, see, this is where they switch polarity, and this red one that was the ground becomes the power wire. It's up here at like about 7.5 volts. Both these are at 7.5 volts when they're power wires. And then this blue one over here that was the power wire switches to a ground, and this is where it starts reversing the direction of that motor and the direction of that door to move it into the closed position. And then right here is where it stops, at the closed position. And then the computer is doing some other kind of little something, whatever it does. You can see the voltages are both the same right there for that little bit. Same thing over here, same thing over here. And then it does some kind of other little pulse right here. Even though the door's already closed right here, it's doing whatever it's doing right here. I'm not sure what that is, why it's doing that. Like I said, I'm no expert in using a scope or analyzing waveforms, but I can see it right here, just in this waveform. This is what I was talking about, on how those wires switch polarity to reverse the direction of the motor and reverse the direction of that door. And this is kind of just cool stuff for me to see on the scope, because I don't see the scope very often, and it kind of verifies what I was talking about and my theory on it all. But if you can see right here, you know, these are both switching at the exact same time. You see how that line's, this voltage is up, this voltage is down, which, you know, this is the power, this is the ground. Cuts them off. Then it does, the computer's doing whatever it does here. And then there's like a little pause in between here from when the door gets to the closed position. This is that pause gap where it's not really doing nothing in the, I don't know what the computer's switching the transistors to reverse the polarity or something right here. I'm not sure. The computer's doing something here. And then this is when the door starts moving in the opposite direction to go to the closed position. And you can see, you know, they both start at the same time. This one's the power, this one's the ground. And then right here is when it gets to the closed position. Boom, they both cut off. Both voltages are the same. And then the computer does something right here, which I'm not sure what it's doing right there. I have no idea. But that's pretty cool stuff to see on the scope. At least to me, there's a lot of stuff like this that you can see on the scope that you can't see with any other tool, and it's just cool stuff to me and a very helpful diagnostic tool. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this scope. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an experienced scope user, so I'm no expert in scopes or can tell you all about scopes or what to do, but there's a lot of cool things you can do. Like you can move this this cursor up here, move it up and down, and it measures the voltage right here, 7.4. Move it up and down, it changes. So you can see, you know, both the voltages when they're on both the power wires are the same. The voltages on both the grounds are the same. You can make all these measurements with it. You can do actually all kinds of cool stuff with it, but you know, I can't really show you all that stuff or all kinds of stuff like that on this video, and I don't even know how to do all kinds of stuff that the scope will do. I just know a little bit about it. I don't use them all the time, but can kind of I can kind of at least get a waveform on the screen usually and somewhat kind of understand what's going on. But I can show you this in real live action and show you what I did, and I'll do that now. So that stopped the scope. So now I'm going to close the door and it'll trigger this AC door. And I don't have my flashlight right now, so I can't show it to you. But yeah, that AC door just did its thing, and now it just stopped right there. So I don't know where my flashlight went. I just had it. Just had it in my hand, but can't find it now. It's in my pocket. Okay, I'll do this again. Try to do this again so you can see it in real live time. But that's the waveform it made from that door just cycling open and closed. I'll do it again. Trigger. I'll open this door, and it should do it again. There it's going to the open. It stopped. Now it's going back, or now it's going back to the closed position. Right there it stopped. So I'll cut this off. And that's it with the waveform all kind of filtered, kind of cleaned up. There's these little buttons up here that you can change the resolution on them. And it's at like its maximum resolution, but if I change it back to its lowest, then see it's all hashy and just harder to kind of see what's going on. So I got it on the I had them on the highest resolution, so that's why they look nice and clean. But yeah, there's all kinds of other things you can do with the scope. I got amp clamps and stuff where I could measure the amperage of the amps that's actually going through these wires. But that's not something I really want to do right now. I don't want to hook up the amp clamps and take the time to try to figure that out. But you can see, I'll do it again, and so you can see it again. Okay, I'm closing the door. So there the motor starts moving, goes to move the door to the open position. It got to the open right there. There's the little pause. There it starts to move again to the closed position. There it stops, and that's it right there. And then the scope automatically cleaned it up to that higher resolution for me right there. So anyway, I just figured I'd show that to everyone because I told you I'd try to do a video on scoping this actuator today, just to see what it's doing and how it's was pulsing the ground and stuff, and that's what it's doing. So I hope everybody or someone might have liked this video, and maybe it might have taught you something, or maybe inspire you to use your scope if you have one. But yeah, the scope stuff is pretty cool stuff. But anyway, that's all I got for now. So I will see you guys on the next one.